On the defensive in Detroit, currently leading in the race for the Republican presidential nomination, Donald Trump was relentlessly targeted in the latest debate, with his rivals seemingly on a mission to make him lose his cool.
This campaign for the last year, Donald Trump has basically mocked everybody with personal attacks. He's done so to people that are sitting on the stage today. He's done so about people that are disabled. He's done it about every other candidate in this race. So if there's anyone who's ever deserved to be attacked that way, it's been Donald Trump for the way he's treated people in the last campaign.
All of a sudden, I'm starting to get it, and what I want the people...
And I don't think the people of America are interested in a bunch of bickering school children. They're interested in solutions, not slogans. It's easy to say, make things better, make things great. You can even print it and put it on a baseball cap. But the question is, do you understand the principles that made America great in the first place?
At times, the insults seem better suited to the school playground than a presidential debate.
And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee.
But despite the jibes, both inside and out, Trump's sparring partners each indicated they would nevertheless support him if he became the Republican nominee.
North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un has ordered his country's military to be ready to use nuclear weapons at any time, according to the communist state's news agency. Kim is reported to have supervised an exercise involving newly developed multiple rocket launchers. The KCNA news agency, on its website, reported that Kim has told his military leaders to update their posture to a readiness to launch preemptive strikes, claiming that enemies are threatening the state's survival. According to the South Korean government, the North fired 6 short-range ordnance into the sea on Thursday from Wonsan on the eastern coast. A spokesman said they were unsure if they were rockets or guided missiles. This latest development comes after the United Nations imposed tough new sanctions on North Korea over a recent nuclear test and missile launch. The US Defense Department responded to Kim's nuclear readiness order by saying that Pyongyang should refrain from provocative actions that aggravate tensions. A Pentagon spokesman said that the situation on the Korean peninsula is being closely monitored in coordination with regional allies. He added that North Korea should be focusing on fulfilling its international obligations and commitments.
Despite a fragile ceasefire in Syria, amateur video footage uploaded to a social media website purports to show a Russian plane firing rockets over a southern town. This as France and Britain today called on Syria and its Russian ally to end attacks on Western-backed rebels.
We welcome the latest truce. It could provide an opportunity to make progress at next week's peace talks, but these will only succeed if there's a change of behaviour by the Syrian regime and by its backers. That is why tomorrow François and I, together with Chancellor Merkel, will speak with President Putin. Russia needs to end its attacks on Syrian civilians and the moderate opposition.
Other footage that's come out of Syria showed a series of artillery shells exploding close to the border with Turkey, sending a group of visiting international reporters running for cover. It was terrible, really terrible, says this German journalist. We were filming a ruined village in the mountains. All of a sudden, a couple of shellings, perhaps from al-Nusra or the Turks. I'm not sure. Syrian peace talks are due to resume in Geneva on March the 9th. The truce in Syria may be fragile, but the lower levels of violence is allowing humanitarian aid to reach people in need. Experts say it's a big turnaround, and they hope it will continue as peace efforts increase.
In the first 3 months of last year, zero trucks reached any of the besieged areas in Syria. In the last 3 weeks, 236 trucks have served 115,000 people. Many of these have received several convoys.
The UN estimates almost 500,000 people are stuck in besieged areas of Syria, and a further 4.6 million are in hard-to-reach areas.
Talks in Paris aimed at getting the fragile Minsk peace agreement back on track in eastern Ukraine failed to make progress on Thursday, ahead of a planned election in the rebel-held Donbass region. Germany and France, the two main countries behind the accord, had hoped that after months of measured pressure on Russia and Ukraine, that a breakthrough could finally be achieved. But after hours of negotiations, it was clear there were still hurdles.
The point I made specially, the necessity of providing security in the run-up to the future elections. Security first. Without security, we can't deliver on anything further. And in this sense, we need bold and robust international component on the ground.
There's been an increasing number of ceasefire violations in the east where Ukrainian government forces and pro-Russian rebels are involved in a tense standoff. Both sides have made commitments to withdraw heavy artillery and give full access to European peace monitors, but progress is slow.
Spain's Princess Cristina told her tax fraud trial on Thursday she had no knowledge of financial matters because her husband took charge of their accounts. King Felipe's sister is the first member of the Spanish royal family to face trial. Prosecutors are looking into whether a charity run by her husband embezzled millions of euros in public funds. She says, "My husband has explained the issue about the credit card. He was offered the card and he accepted it, but he was in charge of it, as he previously said. I don't remember having used it," she says. When asked, "Why did you take the 50% of the social capital of the company?" she said, "My husband asked me to do so, and I accepted. He was the administrator, and he always took the decisions, being advised by his tax advisor." Cristina could face up to 8 years in prison if convicted. Her husband, Iñaki Urdangarin, is accused of 9 crimes, including fraud and tax evasion. He could face 19 years if found guilty.
Reports in German media claim an incident at a French nuclear power plant close to the border with Germany was downplayed by the French authorities. In April 2014, flooded electrical installations led to the shutdown of the reactor at Fessenheim. The plant in the Alsace region is the oldest nuclear facility in operation in France. A prominent environmental rights activist was shot dead in Honduras on Thursday, prompting protests in the capital. Berta Cáceres was murdered by 2 men at a home in La Esperanza, 180 kilometers west of the city, according to the Honduran security minister. Police said another person was wounded in the incident and 1 suspect has been arrested. Scientists at the space agency NASA say the Hubble telescope has detected a galaxy 13.4 billion light-years away. It's the most distant galaxy ever seen through the instrument. The infant galaxy, called GNZ11, is significant because it gives scientists insight into what the early universe might have looked like.